we both have two different views on how we met. Mine's is like choppy, but it's funny sometimes to hear both sides of the stories because it starts the same way and ends the same way, but the in-betweens of the story is interesting. Yeah. So from my point of view, I'm going to make it quick, right? We met on a Wednesday night in New York. It was a club called Miss. And this is when I was being a chicken head and I was going out every single night of the week.
His words, not mine.
I had an Impala with no sunroof, itchy seats. All right? No lever, no sunroof. This is what we doing. I was parking 4 or 5 blocks away from the club, walking back. You're not going to see what's going on with me. This is just where we was at with it right there.
But you had a car.
But I had a car. So as I'm walking back to the club, I see Dana. Now, I don't say anything because that's just the type of person I am. I was always the type of dude that'd see a girl, like, oh, she look all right. Wouldn't say nothing, though. In my mind, I done said wild things of what I would say. And now she probably getting off the flight or the train or leaving. I ain't say nothing. So I did that with her for about 5 blocks. Got in the club. Oh, it's the same girl from outside. Don't say nothing. See you at the bar. Get my Patron margaritas. Don't say nothing. Now tell my man, yo, I just saw the girl from outside. Didn't say anything. Rest in peace. I'm talking to DJ Big Cap, right? Rest in peace. Supreme Bigger Figure Big Cap. And DJ Self might have walked by too, right? Shout out to DJ Self. And in this moment in Miss, it was like the bathrooms was here, the DJ booth was there, the bar's there. And I'm talking to Big Cap, and she walks this way. Big Cap is right here. Dana walks this way. So I remember everything stopped. And I remember going like this.
As you're talking to him.
And then I heard what he said again. And then I came back and I'm like, oh. Now this is where it gets very choppy, right? Now this is where I need you to tell your story. Because my story ends right here. I know it's wild more left to the story. My story ends right here. I'm drunk at some point. Now in New York, they have these little halal food trucks that be outside at the end of the club. And I don't know why we eat that food. I don't know why we come out with a stomach full of liquor and then eat halal food right on the corner from the little truck thing. But I ordered some food. I don't remember what I said to Dana that closed the deal. I don't remember anything I said. I don't even remember how I got her phone number. Now, she remembers the rest of this story. But at this point, when I come out and the air hits me and the sweat from being in the club, when the air hit me, it got cold. I remember going to order the halal food and I'm waiting for it. And then I seen you. And that's it. We got kids now. We engaged. I don't know what I said to you that I don't know. But this is where now you can explain how we met.
Now you go with Ali.
Because I do think that story was how we met, but I just don't remember the rest of it. I was so gone, I don't remember the rest of it.
Well, so it was at a Club Mist on a Wednesday.
Bada bing.
So we were on the same page.
Jay Holiday was performing too. Yeah.
Jay Holiday was performing big. I was in town visiting from LA, and it was 2 of my friends' birthdays. So that's how I remember the time frame and when it was. It was in July. And I was with like 3 of my friends, and then 1 brought a friend. And I remember we did park. I don't remember how far we parked from the club because you're claiming that you seen me walking toward the club.
We walked past about 3
So I don't remember. I know we parked on the street. We didn't park in a lot. And I do remember walking to the club. When we went in, coming from the car to the club, I don't remember seeing you guys. And I remember being inside.
I was walking behind you for like,
and I don't even remember
5
that.
blocks.
And it was really, I will say, it was a
joint.
night that was really, really crowded. It was in the middle of summer in July. It was really crowded in there. And I do remember
July. I had a white Team Rock track jacket.
Yeah, it was July.
On
it was July. And I'm surprised you didn't describe what I had on. But what I had on was...
I said I was walking behind you. You had the pinstripes on. You had like the little turtleneck type thing on. You had your hair up in a bun. With actually, you look just like this. That's what's crazy. I ended up getting this tattoo. I didn't even know her when I got this tattoo. This is exactly how she looked the night I met her. She had the two.
My hair was in a bun. No.
She had the 2 strands of hair like this with a bun. Ask me how did I?
Well, it was covered. I didn't see it that night.
She didn't even know that was the tat, but she had on like this little.
I had like
a referee vibe thing going on.
It was a black and white striped pencil skirt. I had like black tie-up sandals and like a black tank top. And it was hot, so my hair was like pushed up in a bun.
See, I thought it was a turtleneck.
No,
I thought it was like.
It was kind of high though. It was a tank top.
Yeah, it was like a mock neck. See, I was there. I was paying attention.
We got inside the club. I remember Jay Holiday was performing Bed. I don't even know he was supposed to be there, but we didn't know he was there.
This when people was performing from the DJ booth. So
and I remember
don't want you to think Jay Holiday was on stage doing a set.
No,
like,
it was in a club.
He was up in the DJ booth with DJ Self or something like that.
And then I remember somewhere in between the night, I remember walking to the bathroom, Tara and myself. We walked to the bathroom, and when we came out the bathroom, that's when I seen you. And it was kind of like, we kind of passed each other. Well, I passed you. I just remember like walking past you with her and doing the same thing, like basically like you described. Like everything stopped and it was kind of like, we kind of looked at each other and it was kind of like a slow motion thing. I felt like everything stopped for a few seconds. And then it was like, okay. Like a scene you see in a movie where everything just gets quiet.
That's how I felt.
We looked at each other. And I was like, oh, he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. Okay. And then it was like, okay, he didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. So I just kept walking. And then he kept talking to whoever he was talking to. And then I remember just, doing whatever for the rest of the night. And then I remember when we came outside, we were like walking out the door, but you and your friends were already outside. Okay. So when we walked out the door, I remember as soon as I like looked in your face, you looked at me and smiled, and you was like, "Come here for a minute." And I was like,
brave. Hold on, I want to hear this.
Yeah, you was
part.
like, "Come here for a minute." And I looked at
Hold on,
Tara.
so this is outside, or this is like
outside.
as we're exiting, or this is like,
no,
am I ordering the halal food at this point?
I don't remember the halal food.
Am I on the corner or we in the front?
We in the front. You were already outside though, and we were like coming out the door. And then I remember you being like, "Come here," like you looked at me and smiled. And was like, "Come here for a minute."
My shot. I
and I remember
liquid
smiling.
courage. I was brave off that Patron.
I smiled and I looked at Tara and I was like, "He's calling me over there." And I was like, "Come over there with me." And she just kind of like stood to the side a little bit with me.
Tara, thank you for. Because if you would have been like, ain't nobody about to go over there and talk
no,
to
she just like
she would have probably encouraged me. So Tara, love you, B. Thank you, B. You know what I'm saying?
So stupid. And then and you was like, "How you doing?" And I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And you was like, I'm good. What's your name?" And I was like, "Dana." And as soon as you said, "Where you from?"
This is at like 4 a.m.
It definitely was late.
It was late. When I parked the car, it was probably 12 something.
It definitely was probably close to 4 a.m.
I watched it
on
for
a summer night.
I watched you for about 4 hours before I even had the courage to say, "Come here."
Come here. And saying "come here" was only like a few feet away, but I remember everything was cool until you said, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "LA." And you laughed like I don't think you believed me at first.
Nah, because at that point I'm like, I knew it was too good to be true.
Like,
this is why I was like,
and I was like, "Tara, tell him I'm serious. Like, I live in LA." And you was like,
because at that point I'm like, oh, this ain't going nowhere. This ain't
I
going
took it
nowhere.
like you thought I was lying.
In my mind I'm like, I don't know. You know what's so crazy? I don't remember how I maneuvered through
like
this convo.
And I'm just like I was like the faces. I was like, "Tara, tell him I'm really." She was like, "No, she lives in LA. She's just visiting." And he was like, "Oh, all right, well, could I at least get your number or something?"
Yeah, because at this point I don't want to. I'm crunchy.
Yeah,
at this point I'm
kind of changed. At this point, your vibe had definitely changed.
At this point, I'm like, "Oh, this is man."
And I know your vibe changed because you didn't even give me your number. You was like, "Just give me your number." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he not even giving me his number. He kind of like offered this situation."
Because in my mind, I'm like, Callie, like,
and I was like, he's never gonna call me. But I remember giving you Tara's number because I stayed at her house. I remember I gave you her number.
I did call though,
and you didn't call like the first night, the first day. So like 2 days went by. I remember I was at her house. Like 2 days went by, and then you called. I remember she handed me the phone. She was like, I was like, "For me?" Like, really? I remember being like, "Hello," and you was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "So you finally decided to call?"
Look at the Gemini, yo. I've called. I'm here now.
You was like, "I'm saying." You said you live in Cali. I ain't,
What am I supposed to do with that?
That was exactly the vibe I got.
And now we're here.
And here we are.
And now we're here. Whole moral of the story is I wasn't brave enough to say nothing. Probably because I had never seen her before. Like this night that we met was the first night we ever seen each other. It wasn't like she was a girl I would see her at the club on Saturday.
No.
You know, every other night we go out, or last summer I saw her at La Marina. She was with, she was with these girls I noticed. Like, no, this was the first night I ever seen her, met her. It was like, yo, who's that? And for her, it probably was like, I mean, I'm not gonna say she knew exactly who I was, but I know for her, it probably was like, oh, well, he got a cool little swag. He different than the guys that I'm used to. And to me, it was like, well, she's different than the girls I'm used to. Even like the way you was dressed, like your whole swag. Like, I'm not gonna say it like that.
Look, you trying
no, but there were girls that used to come to my house and they had beef and broccolis on.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had the Jordans I had.
I'm pretty sure I had a Cali swag. I probably wasn't dressed like too many people that were in there that night.
Yeah.
Not to say anything bad. I probably wasn't even dressed like my friends that I was with, because that, it's
look,
just
sometimes you like what you like, and sometimes what's for you is for you. I don't think that I have to be the most magnificent man in the world to be that in Dana's eyes, and she knows she don't have to be that in my eyes. So it's crazy because that night I think I knew that. I always tell people, like the whole, do you believe in love at first sight? Like, we just told y'all how we met. And in both of our stories, we have that moment where everything stopped, and it felt like everything got quiet and everything got slow, and then it sped up again and came back.
It did.
I don't got them stories with everybody.
No, I don't.
Not with everybody.
But I do feel like it was it was meant to be. But when we talk to each other, we go over places that we've been over the years before we met up with each other or met each other. It's funny because we were in a lot of the same places at the same time, but we just didn't know each other. Like, it's crazy. Like, you went there too? I was at All-Star Weekend.
Well, I was at All-Star Weekend in Vegas too. Like,
wait a minute, that year I was there. Look, so when you think about those things, it's like, okay, we were destined to meet at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was cool that how we met. It was organic. It wasn't like his boys was with him and was like, yo, I think you should talk to Shorty. With
it was.
Let me go hook you up. It wasn't like my friends was like, yo, you need to go talk to.
The exact way
it happened the way it was supposed to happen. We both noticed each other and looked at each other the same way, which I think is amazing.
Well, jump in the comments and tell us how you met your partner. Whether you a dude or you're a female, tell us how you met your partner. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I definitely want to know how people met. Tell us the stories about how you met your partner in the comments.
Do you think it was love at first sight? Like, you probably didn't realize that's what it was until you look back. But when you think back on it, you're like, okay, this never happened to me before. Not this way.